From now on, I only go to parties where no one gets cremated. Okay, Miss Leanne, you have fun at your somber, very boring, non-cremation based parties while everybody is over here in the real world where Rob Thomas really wishes said real world would stop hassling him, and we'll be over here having all kinds of cremation themed parties where everybody's burning and yearning and having fun until the morning comes. Nevertheless, I'm John Renton with the retro view of One Missed Call from 2008. Yet another Americanized movie from a Japanese original that maybe wasn't the exact, iconic film that Ringu was, or The Grudge, all that stuff. One Missed Call isn't necessarily talked about in the same vein of those, but One Missed Call was certainly a lot better in Japan than it was here, because goodness goddamn me, I saw this when it first came out in theaters, and I saw it a few years later when video stores were still open, thinking, oh, it wasn't that bad, and it was worse. And now, watching it nearly 15 years after the fact, god damn, this movie is shit. Terrible special effects, terrible direction, terrible writing, even terrible acting, and from people that haven't actually been that bad in other movies. So, it was directed by Eric Vallet. Actually, I think he is French, so I probably shouldn't say that. But did State Affairs and Super Hybrid. Yeah, about a killer hybrid car. No, really, that was a movie that came out a number of years ago. Written by Andrew Klavan, who did True Crime and Don't Say a Word. You know, I'm starting to see why this movie wasn't going to be all that successful and wasn't going to be very good. Don't Say a Word was terrible. And yes, based on a Japanese original, I can't pronounce the names of the people that came up with it, but nevertheless, Sharon Sossamon. Remember the young lady who was in A Knight's Tale? Whatever happened to her? Because I'm not saying she was the most amazing actress, but she was pretty good there. She was good in a few other things, and seemingly she just dropped off the face of the goddamn earth. Did she leave acting? Have I just not seen the project she's in? Please let me know. Also, Edward Burns was in this as Detective Jack Andrews, not Dr. James Andrews. Dun, dun, dun. And these two team up to solve the mystery of why everybody is getting a mysterious voicemail from the future that tells of their death. It's audio of them from the person that died before, and whoever dies ends up making a call, and this person finds out that they're going to die through a few pieces of dialogue, and then the line disconnects. And then lo and behold, people die because of that. Because it's Ringu, The Grudge, whatever The Grudge was in Japanese, I actually forget. And various other, Pulse. Remember Pulse? God, Pulse was shit. And so many other movies. Like, it's after 7 days or after a certain amount of time, you die. And you can't stop it. Except you kind of can in Americanized movies. And yeah, friggin' Megan Good was in this. Thankfully, she didn't make it very far. That's good, given what Megan Good has basically done to her goddamn reputation with who she's deciding to date. If you know, you know. Margaret Cho was a cop in this, for whatever goddamn reason. There was one actress I forgot about. Anna Claudia Talalian. I'm pretty certain I totally butchered that. Anna Claudia is just what I'm going to call her. She plays the character of Taylor. My God, she is beautiful. Goodness, goddamn me, she's beautiful. What else has she been in? Ray Wise is also in this, doing his best George Hamilton impression. So yeah, Beth basically is haunted by an entity that is targeting her friends and eventually targets her. And these are some of the worst special effects I have seen in 2000s horror movies in quite a while. Like, rewatching some of these, some of them have aged pretty well, and some of them were bad to begin with. Like, this whole goddamn thing, it's amazing. There was a cat in the beginning of this. The cat was the best actor in the movie. Megan Good gets drowned. Not in a bathtub, not straight out of the Whitney Houston playbook, because that was a bit of time away. And then the cat also gets drowned. So, boo, screw you, movie, how dare you. I mean, obviously, the cat really didn't get drowned. And then, sometime later, Megan Good's character was a student. Everybody that's a student, by the way, at this college apparently is in their, mid to, in the case of Anya, Claudia's character, she was about 27, 28 when this was filmed. I mean, she looks great, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, 20-somethings playing college students. No wonder we keep saying, when we watch slashers and we watch stuff. God, college students didn't exactly look like that when I was in college. Oh, wait, because they're played by people older that just happen to look young enough to do that. That late 2000s cell phone technology with the flip phones and the Nokia phones that had a battery that would outlast everything except Keith Richards. Keith Richards will end up outliving us all. Watch that not be the case shortly after this review post. And the cell phone technology, like you can see the videos being played. It's amazing that 15 years ago this movie came out, and now we got smartphones. We got all presenting the smartphone that you can't see that I am filming on right now, and all this technology, and it's just amazing. Soon it's all going to be streamed into our goddamn brain, and Skynet will become self-aware and take us over. These special effects, the ghost special effects, all this stuff, my God, these were bad. I mean, I don't think this movie had a huge budget, but good Lord. The character of Leanne, the one that said the line about the attending parties where no one gets cremated, she gets the first haunting phone call after Megan Good did, and then falls and ends up in front of a train, like a fast-moving train, very fast-moving, that hits a very bad CGI body of hers. It's supposed to be hers, and then there's Hard Candy. Not the movie Hard Candy, not Sex and Candy, because Mama, this surely ain't a dream. I thought they were marbles, and it was actually hard candy that was in their mouths. And why, we find out a little bit later. So, phone calls keep popping up from dead person's phones. People keep dying. Hey, here's an idea, Beth says, Shannon's character. Let's take the batteries out of our phone. Oh, wait, they're still ringing because ghosts don't appreciate the laws of physics and the laws of electronics. And then Ray Wise's character shows up. He does an American Miracle show where he performs exorcisms on things. And I can perform an exorcism on your phone. No, really, that's how they use Ray Wise, who's a pretty good character actor, in all honesty. He's been in some weird stuff. He's been in some schlock, but he's pretty good overall. And Detective Jack Andrews is on the case. He also lost his sister. Turns out his sister was actually the one that died first, and then called Megan Good's character, and then she died, and so on and so forth, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it turns out there's this old woman named Marie that may have something to do with the whole thing. Because earlier in the film, in the very beginning of the film, there was a fire, and this one blonde girl straight out of the Hitler Youth program was the only survivor, and she was holding her teddy bear. More on that in a bit. There's nanny cam footage where the kids are just playing and everything, and they have it on GameCube discs. Remember GameCube discs? Remember how small they were? And then you had the discs that could fit in those various computers that actually couldn't really play anything. My mother used to hurt her children. It was Munchausen's by proxy, I believe is how it's pronounced. Probably screwed that up. And then we get this American Miracle show that Ray Wise hosts. And Taylor, because she's going to be next, this guy's exercising her phone. I command you to leave this cell phone, this electronic device. Leave, demon, leave. And then the lights go out. 5 was right all this time. Because baby, when the lights go out, boy, that's a data reference. The demon reaches and chokes her out and, leaves her all prone on the table. Oh, I see. It's okay when a demon does that, and yet I do it, and I'm taking it. Let's just move on from that. Taylor's dead. That's unfortunate, because Anya Claudia was absolutely beautiful. And then Beth is worried. The detective's like, oh, you don't have anybody to stay with? Well, my dad's dead, and my mother and I, we don't talk very much. And then we see a brief flashback of the mother torturing the daughter. And then we find out the dad hung himself. Possibly because of drinking, possibly because he was tired of being in the movie, possibly just because of lazy screenwriting, and we had to do something to give trauma to Beth. That is the only time we see anything from Beth's mother, who apparently is still alive, I guess. And then they go to visit the one surviving kid, the blonde Hitler Youth girl from the beginning, Laurel. And she doesn't say anything since the accident. There's the ringtone and the bear, And then we get the research scene that every horror movie has to have, especially from the early to mid 2000s. And the mother's spirit is in the phones. Oh my god, it's like Ouija. They have to figure this out. They have to do all this bad shit. Or stop all this bad shit by doing dumber shit, like being complete idiots. Let's go to St. Luke's, cathedral, the place where the fire happened. Let's go to the rubble. And then Beth is going between the spirit world and the real world that has all these lights and everything. And then she's getting targeted because she's next. Good lord, they're idiotic is what I noted. Beth ends up in the air ducts, finds the body of the other sister that is burned, and she's got a cell phone in her hand. And then the body is attacking her and even has a tear, and oh my god, it's so terrible, it's so terrible. The mother put her up there and made her escape up there, and then she died. But the mother saved Laurel, or Laurel was the only survivor, and the mother is somehow still around. No, the mother ended up dying in the apartment cathedral fire. And then she's just saying, Beth is saying to the body of the girl that's dead, tell me why. Well, there ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why this is a messy screenplay. Tell me why I never want to watch one missed call ever fucking again. Okay, that didn't exactly work. Backstreet Boys fans are going to hate me. But then we see the final nanny cam thing. It was hidden in the bear all this time. The ringtone that the bear played when you squeeze its belly. The nanny cam thing showed that the other sister, Erica, the one that had an inhaler and there was air hissing all around every time, the demon tried to attack, should have been an indication. It wasn't because the sister couldn't get to her medicine because the mother prevented it. No, it's because the sister tortured her other sister, the one that didn't speak anything at all, the Hitler Youth. And then the sister was locked in a room, panicked, and couldn't get to her inhaler. And now she's possessing the phones. Maybe, kinda, sorta, or maybe it's the mother. Well, this one cop gets a phone from evidence, calls Detective Andrews because he gets another voicemail from Beth. And then it turns out that, oh my god, it actually is Erica. It isn't the mother. Detective Andrews gets stabbed through the goddamn peephole that the ghost was somehow able to get through, despite the fact the ghost was only 3 feet tall. They must have had arms like goddamn crazy. Brr. Stretch Armstrong. And then Edward Burns is fucked. He's dead, seemingly. And Beth is targeted. And oh my god, all this ghostly glass breaking. It's all spinning around. And then the ghost mother appears from nowhere, Marie, and traps her daughter in the phone. And then the phone keeps ringing. And we're going to get that. Whatever. I'm sure it made sense in Japan. Didn't make sense here. I mean, it probably didn't make much sense in Japan either, but Japanese directors and writers and actors usually can make horror movies work better. This didn't. This is a mess. An absolute mess. It's on HBO Max, by the way, if you want to watch it and see just how bad 2000's horror was. Agree, disagree, what it said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.